Ana Petero, and welcome to another episode of About Town, where we feature members of Solano County who are making an impact on our community. Joining us this afternoon to discuss the Solano Commission for Women and Girls are three of its founding members, Rochelle Sherlock, Jennifer Barton, and Elease Cheek. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon to discuss the Solano Commission for Women and Girls. Can you tell us a little bit about the inception of the Solano County Commission for Women and Girls? What was your idea when starting it?
Sure thing. So about mid-2017, 3 or 4 women started sending emails around saying, oh, we want to do a commission for women and girls. Solano doesn't have one. It's one of the only counties in the state that doesn't have a commission for women. At the time, the official title was Commission on the Status of Women. So the emails were going around, and finally there were about 3 of us from different seroptimist groups that said, okay, let's do it. Let's get this together. So we gathered about 6 or 7 names, had an initial meeting in October of 2017. Supervisor Hannigan was a part of that. Rochelle, were you at that first one, or did we start in January? Okay, and we just had a great briefing from the Contra Costa Commission president. And we all got so excited when she came in. It was like, we want to have this. It's going to be so great. So we pulled together a group of names. We all brainstormed in January, had a big meeting with all of us, and we were off and running. The feeling was there are so many powerful women in Solano County in so many leadership positions. And we just felt like a lot was going on in a lot of different areas of Solano County. Can we work together to try and find out what are we all doing? What is out there? And then on the other side, what are the challenges that women and girls are having in our county? And we really wanted to have a concentrated effort and a very thoughtful way to take a look at that. And part of that came, I want to give credit for the seroptimists of Solano County. There are 7 clubs, and they would give a lot of money to women and girls organizations in the county, in each city. And each city kind of gives to their own city. And so part of what we thought was, if there's a great report that says, here's where we're doing really well, here's where we need some more help, here is the poverty area or the education area, then we could, again, thoughtfully also donate the monies, which are in the hundreds of thousands of dollars each year, to those areas that really need it. So that was part of what happened. And we were lucky enough to have Supervisor Hannigan, who just took this and ran with it and bolstered us and worked with. We also had 2 staff, 1 staff member from Supervisor Jim Spearing's office. And I was lucky enough to work for Assembly Member Frazier, who dedicated a lot of my time in his office to help put that together. So we spent a lot of time on this, let me tell you, and it was a great working group. Everyone just came together. We would talk. Oh my gosh, so many ideas, and we want to do this and we want to do that. And we broke out into some subcommittees and sorted it out that way. We were also trying to be very careful to not put on the commission when it was a real commission. We didn't want to say, this is what you have to do, that's what you have to do in a micro level, but we just wanted our big goal of, we want to report on the status of women and girls. That was a major piece, and we promised the Board of Supervisors that we would do that. We want to highlight women in our county and celebrate those women so that we know what's going on. And we want to, hopefully with all of that, empower the young girls to move forward and be excited about it. So that's kind of a baseline for us.
And I've actually incorporated young girls within the commission, right, Rochelle? As a chair of the commission, how do you see it functioning? And you're just an amazing facilitator. We have a lot of younger women who are in there. What do you think the commission does for young girls?
So I think that, first of all, the founding committee, we really were very thoughtful around the representatives that would serve on this commission, and made sure that each city had a representative, that each supervisor with the county board of supervisors had a representative, and that Lisette Estrella Henderson from the Solano County Office of Education had a representative. And so that came up to the equivalent of 13 appointees, and then we wanted to have 4 additional ones. And so when we had our very first meeting in October, of all things, Lisa and I were the only two from the founding committee who wanted to continue to go on with the commission. And just, we had to also apply. So the way it was set up wasn't that if we were on a founding committee, we would automatically be members. We submitted applications just like everyone else and hoped that somebody would appoint us or somehow we'd get on. And so when we started that first October meeting, we had 4 slots left over. Part of the design was that we would have 2 what we call youth slots. But it's really looking for young women or girls from the age of 14 up to 24 that could fill those slots because we needed youth representation. And then we had 2 at-large slots.
It's nice having a mixture and a diversity in the group. You get the experience of the experienced members, mature members of the group, and then you have the technology, the students who are the young people who are really tech savvy, and you have a nice combination of them all. At the end of while this is going on, at the end of the commission's charter, I guess, if you will, if that's lack of a better word, what is your vision for the future of the Solano Commission for Women and Girls?
The vision for the future of this, the Salon. Well, one thing I can say about the present is that it's given us an opportunity. Like you said, we have such a diverse mix of individuals, younger women with the older women. We're learning a lot from each other.
Right, that's true.
So that's one of the things that we're getting right now. So the vision is that we will continue that effort as we work throughout the county. And one of the things that I'd like to notice that as Jennifer mentioned earlier is that the supervisors of Solano County are behind this. So they see that it's important for us to look at what's happening with women and girls in our county. And they want to see how we can improve as a county. You know, and I think of it as a family. You know, how can we improve the services that we provide? How can we address the issues that we are confronted with? And how we can make plans for our future.
Oh, that's outstanding. And as just being part of the community and seeing the challenges of girls and women in our community and getting them together from all different parts of our county, right? From Dixon to Benicia to Vallejo and here in Fairfield. I think that's a great idea. And so with the president of it, what do you want to see the Solano Commission for Women and Girls develop into and flourish into in the next couple of years? As founding members.
As founding members, well, I think first of all, the vision is just really that we have a celebration of who we are as women and girls, and that we celebrate the diversity of who we are. You know, Solano County is a very, very diverse county.
We're one of the most diverse counties.
One of the most diverse counties and cities in it. But the diversity isn't, you know, goes beyond that. Diversity can also mean diverse interests. So who, you know, women and girls who are interested in science or technology, or those adventurers, you know, the ones that are going to be skydiving or rock climbing. You know, we understand that there's a young woman who actually received a football scholarship out of Vallejo.
That's right.
You know, and so those are kind of the forms of what it means to be a woman and a girl that the popular media doesn't emphasize. And I think in some level it shortchanges ourselves in terms of who we are and who we can become. But also girls, when they think about who they want to be when they grow up, they need to see lots of models and be able to see themselves and imagine themselves into something that's very positive and powerful and strong and a leader. And so, you know, for me, and I think also from the Commission's perspective, that's a key piece of it. On a practical note, I think that the status report, and this comes back to what Jennifer said and Elise mentioned, is it's going to help us identify what the issues really are in this county and then begin to do some targeted solutions. And some of the targeted solutions could be legislative advocacy things, recommendations we'd bring to the Board of Supervisors. It could be around programs.
It's exciting.
But it's really, I think it's kind of like all ships rising. So there's great things happening in the county with the Soroptimist groups. You know, we just have a lot of women-run organizations, and so our goal is never
sororities,
the sororities,
Tuesdays Club, Wednesday Club, everything that we
the
have.
Soroptimist groups, we have the League of Women Voters, we have the Association of University
And
Women.
we actually got prepared a worksheet that identifies all of those
that's
organizations.
great.
So that's one of the things that this group has done together, and identified a contact person.
that's
So if
really
you're
great.
interested in getting involved in any of those groups, you can see, right there, and had it not been for a group like this,
Yes.
we'd have never really, it takes a lot of time to kind of go to each one, but we have representation from individuals from each of those groups as well, so you can speak to it, or raise interest, or raise, issues that may be involved within those areas.
And there's
And
so
Anna,
much
it was so
talent.
interesting. One of the meetings that we had on the formation committee was listing about what do we want to see this commission doing?
Right.
What do we want to see them do? And we had a list this long of we want workshops
Right.
on this topic, on salaries, on jobs, on alternative jobs. We want things. I can't even remember everything that was on that long list. And we're like, okay, let's just leave this here and give it to when the real commission gets going. Then they can take that and start working on it. And I think this commission, since they formed, they had to put everything together, and there's a process that has to happen so that they can move forward and have that action done. And I think Rochelle's done a great job on that process, because
absolutely.
it'll give you a good foundation that you can move on and go for. So I'm really proud. I'm really proud to have been a founding member of this commission and where I see it going already. And I just see great things for it down the line.
And so much talent. The women come
Yes.
from so many different backgrounds in terms of their not only educational background, their careers, all of us. I mean, you're pretty fierce. You own a construction company. That's pretty awesome.
That is.
I mean,
Now, who would have thought?
Great,
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
in
Yeah, I know.
Solano County. I wanted to ask you, you introduced us one book that I thought was really amazing in terms of what you see as girls and women, and in terms of how we view ourselves. Can you talk a little bit about that particular book and how it inspires you, and some of the things that you wanted to
Yeah.
introduce to the commission?
Yeah, so the book is called Strong as the New Pretty, and it features pictures of girls, all different kinds of girls, who are in their element, right? They're doing the thing they love, whether it's surfing or whether it's wrestling, or it could be anything, and really exhibiting certain qualities and characteristics. So it could be fearlessness, it could be compassion and kindness and friendship, it could be just kind of the pursuit, curiosity.
Right.
And it shows pictures of them in this particular whatever element that they're enjoying, whether it, again, the surfing, etc. And it celebrates those kinds of qualities that we can have as girls. For myself, growing up, it was at a time where I was a tomboy, and tomboys weren't valued.
Right.
Really, it was like, oh, something's wrong. Make her look like
Yes.
a little girl.
Yeah.
And there was no place for me to be who I was then.
Yeah.
And this book allows us to celebrate who we all are and who those girls are,
Yes.
and really emphasize that.
Oh, that's lovely. That's really lovely.
We're beyond just what people look at. There's
It's so
much
beyond
more
just the
that-
physical
yes.
beauty that media focuses on, right?
Right.
And that's something we all have to struggle with ourselves, and I think this commission is so great and it's empowering for young women and girls. So now we know what the conception was of it all, what the commission does itself, and what your vision is for the future. When do you all meet? How often?
Sure. So we meet the third Thursday of the month from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's at 675 Texas Street at the County Administrative Building in Fairfield in the multi-purpose room. If anybody wants to come, and we open it
to the
up.
public.
We don't care if you're a voting member or not, because it's like women, we're all in this together, right? So
Yes.
you come, you've got a seat at the table, you'll have a name tent. But do reach out either by sending us an email at Solano Commission, Women and Girls at gmail.com, or somebody can call me at 707-718-5637. We will likely not have a meeting in July. We haven't decided that yet. And then, of course, it may be around December or January we may not have meetings. But generally speaking, the third Thursday of the month from 6 to 8 p.m.
And they can follow the Solano Commission for Women and Girls on Twitter.
On
At
Twitter.
Solano Commission for Women and Girls.
Instagram.
Facebook page, right? So if they have any questions, they can get on
Right.
their Facebook page, and also
And
Instagram.
And Instagram.
Exactly. All this technology that we're getting into,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add regarding the Solano Commission for Women and Girls?
You know, the thing that I would like to add is that you also are a member
Yes.
and in this conversation.
Yes. I just love it. There's so much energy. I was telling Jennifer earlier that I leave there feeling so motivated because of all the energy that the women bring to it. And it's really refreshing.
Me
Yeah, it's
too.
really fabulous.
It's also a place too, because we do wear a lot of hats.
We do, yes.
And we are stretched. And oftentimes we don't get the accolades. You're doing a great job.
Yes.
I don't know our society. Maybe what do you want out of this? Is maybe that it's okay
Yes.
to say you're doing a great job. You know, we
Yeah.
tell each other that. You know, and it comes not only from us, but it goes out to men too.
Yes.
You know, say that and start creating an atmosphere
Right.
of making sure people know that they're doing a good job in this society. You know, and I'd just like to add. Jennifer, as our chair of the committee, is doing a wonderful job.
Rochelle.
Rochelle, I'm sorry.
yes.
I'm sorry, Rochelle. Rochelle is doing a great job.
Thank you.
She's a great leader, and with all the hats she wears,
Yes.
it's difficult to lead such a diverse.
Strong, a lot of strong women.
Strong
Absolutely.
women. So I like to add that because she's taken on that responsibility, and she's doing an excellent job at coordinating everything. She said every meeting there's subcommittees that comes out of all of the meetings that we're in. So you're probably meeting once a week, you know, and then you know, because I know I meet 2 times a month
Right.
on 2 of the subcommittees.
Yes.
So, but there's a lot that come up. But it's the passion that we all have, you know, as women to see that our county addresses the issues, appreciates and celebrate, you know, the things that we are doing, and that we continue to do it because it's important.
Absolutely.
It's important.
And with just such fierce women, even in 2019, we're still doing so much. We all have families, so we're taking care of our families on top of our careers, and then doing all of this work to further women, girls, and women in our community. And it doesn't only help women and girls; it helps our sons, our nieces, and our nephews, and our grandsons. Just
In the future.
exactly.
We're doing something that's going to impact our future.
Yes.
The future of Solano County.
Well, the rising tide raises all ships, and I think this is a great tide that we
Yes, it
have
is.
here in Solano County. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us on About Town. And as we said earlier, you can follow the Solano Commission for Women and Girls on Twitter at Solano Commission for Women and Girls, on their Facebook page, and on our Instagram page. I'd like to leave the show this afternoon with a quotation. Actually, it is an African proverb that says, "When you educate a girl, you educate a community." Thank you for joining us.
Good one, Anna.
The exponential growth from the program from my first year to my 3rd year now, that's what keeps me coming back and keeps me excited and just like fulfills me as a person.
It's so impressive, and we every time we walk in here, you guys are doing something different. It's great. It's
Nothing but opportunities here, and we have sports to cover, we have the equipment.
Because the more ambitious you are, the more opportunities you'll have.
on-the-job training is huge.
Get the hands-on experience.
When someone asks who can do it, you know, you can raise your hand and say, I can do it, so.
Joining the class was the best decision I ever made.
Stand by, we're going to go to cut 1. And cut 1. Cross court to Audrey Jones. Audrey for 3! It is good! With 1.3 seconds left on the game clock, Audrey Jones with one of the biggest shots ever.
The sky's the limit, really, with what we can do here.